Hey everybody, what is up? Welcome back to Final Trade. Once in a while, we'll see an analysis that hinges around the number of days of inventory on the market of a product. And I did one of these back around January to March of this year on Throne of Eldraine booster boxes. And the results of it were pretty inconclusive. What I was seeing back then is that the number of new boxes coming onto the market was much higher than the number of boxes being sold. And so there were just boxes coming on and off the market constantly. And yeah, there was a trickle of sales consistently over time, but there were just so many more boxes. And, the other day I saw another one of these kind of analyses on a different channel, and I thought, well, maybe I'll come back and revisit this just briefly. So I'll put a link to the original analysis up in the corner of the screen here, and then tell you what I see going on here right now. So, previously when I finished looking at these boxes, it was March 19th of 2022. So it was about 8 months ago now. And on that day, there were 118 boxes on the market. And if I scroll down here today and look through this, there are 100 boxes on the market today. So 8 months later, there are only 18 fewer boxes on the market, but now we know Throne of Eldraine is still a popular product. It still sells consistently. And so were we to come through here and we were to go all the way back as far as TCG Player would let us look, which is about 4 months. They cut these data off. They don't let you go back forever, but they'll let you see about 4 months backwards. And we add up all these sales over the last 4 months. It's 241 boxes sold just in the last 4 months. So 8 months ago, on one specific day that we measured, there were 118 boxes on the market. Today there are 100. And in just the last 4 months, 241 boxes sold. So that means at least 223 boxes appeared on the market in those last 8 months. And of course, there were sales essentially from March through July that we can no longer see the records for. And those would also be boxes that appeared on the market. And the point of all of this is that the number of boxes on the market on a particular day really doesn't mean much. There are a lot of boxes that come on and off the market, and you'll see dealers like this. This is just one example, and I'm not really familiar at all with this dealer, but Oasis Games here just has 21 boxes on the market. And there are a lot of card stores like this who appear to just hold large amounts of inventory in the back room, and then all at once they'll just post up 3, 4, 8, 10 cases of a product for sale. And so, it's part of their business plan to maybe take on a bunch of additional inventory of products late in its life cycle. And then in the case of Throne of Eldraine, it's been out of print for 15, 18 months now, something like that. And at some point, throw it all up on the market at these now higher prices for the out of print product and make a decent return on it. And so essentially in the short to medium term, I don't think number of boxes available has any bearing on the market. There are so many boxes that sit in card stores, in people's closet, in the hands of weak-handed investors that are ready to come on the market at any given time. I think it's probably takes several years to flush out this kind of inventory. And, the prices are rising in the meantime. Obviously, we see these prices here, Throne of Eldraine at just about double the original distribution price. But there are a lot of boxes floating out there that are ready to get pushed onto the market. They're not there right now, but the sellers are ready to push them on. And like I said, at least 223 boxes have come onto the market of just this one product just in the last 4 months, just on TCG Player. And so it feels like on the long timeline for old products, this should be a good metric. And maybe it is. That's something else we would need to look into, and we would probably need to examine data for a long period of time to really get a sense of that. And we might need more granular data of daily boxes available so we can really see what's the number of boxes coming on the market and off the market every day to get a sense for that. So, yeah, it does feel like on the long timeline, this should be a useful metric. But for products, say, like Thronavel Drain, that have only been out of print for a year and a half now, they only originally came out in late 2019, probably not a useful metric. Now, where in between Thronavel Drain and Stronghold does this become useful? I don't know. I don't have a feeling for that yet. Maybe it'd be an interesting thing to examine in the future, but just be wary of examining days of supply on the market when you're trying to make decisions, when you're trying to make predictions, when you're trying to maybe allocate capital towards something, because as we see with this example, hundreds of boxes just in the last 4 months appeared on the market and sold. And so today, the amount of supply available is basically flat to what it was 3 months ago. And comically, I originally started gathering these recent data to make this video 2 days ago. And when I counted the number of boxes on the market merely 2 days ago, it was 87. And this morning, it's 100. And as you can see from the sale right here, in the last 2 days, no boxes have sold. I'm recording this on November 5th. So in the last 2 days, no boxes have sold, but 13 new boxes have come onto the market. So I don't think there's much conclusion you can draw from number of days of inventory on the market. Let me know what you guys think. And, if you have some interesting ideas about maybe some other variable we could use here, some other way we could torture these data to get them to confess, then I'd certainly be interested to hear it. Otherwise, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Join me on Final Trade. Thanks a lot, everyone.